Hello and welcome. Thank you for being here and watching my channel. Much appreciated. I would love it if you could subscribe, if you could hit the bell so you get notified when I post and be a part of this journey with me. And just to tell you a little bit about me, if you don't know, you probably do from seeing my stuff, but just in case. So my name's Em and I'm a mindset mentor and I work with women entrepreneurs who self-sabotage in their business, so basically holding themselves back from the success that they deserve and the success that they want. And today I wanted to talk to you about something that is really kind of key to a lot of the mindset stuff around that kind of the procrastination and holding ourselves back, and something that I struggled with for like a really long time. So what I want to talk to you about is self-doubt, but in a slightly different way than maybe you've talked about it or heard about it before. So what I want to get across today and what's really important is self-doubt is normal, okay? We can't eliminate it. We can't get rid of it. That's like an absolute impossibility. And when you come to think about it, it's actually quite a ridiculous concept. But seriously, how many times have you read somewhere or seen somewhere about, eliminate your self-doubt, squash your self-doubt, whatever those words are? They're not coming to me right now, but you know what I mean. This kind of the idea that it's something bad, something we need to get rid of. And I just want you to think about this for a moment. I'm going to share my experience and just kind of see if this resonates with you and is something that you felt as well. So when I used to read those things, I used to think to myself, well, hang on a minute, what's wrong with me, right? Why, when I go to do something new or create something different, whatever that looks like, why do I get this sense of, oh my God, is this going to work? Can I do it? The doubt stuff, right? Why do I get that if other people don't? Because there's this idea that that's something you're supposed to just not feel. And then I realised in time, and it did take me a while because I was going along thinking everyone else is just like confident as how they've all got this down and it's just me sat worrying about this stuff. And then I realised in time that actually, no, that, self-doubt is normal, it's fine, and it's perfectly okay. It doesn't cause us any problems at all, unless we then take that self-doubt and use it as a reason not to take action. Because actually, when you come to think about it, is there really anything wrong in having those moments of, can I do this? Should this be right for me? As long as we can challenge this stuff. And actually, in a way, just thinking about this now, part of it maybe is about a kind of safety thing, because perhaps we're feeling that doubt because it's our mind's way of saying to us, something's a little bit off here and it's maybe not the exact path that we want to be taking or that, is right for us. We've got to be careful with that though, because again, if the doubt's like coming up and it's a genuine doubt, fear-based stuff, what we don't want to do is kind of give ourselves a kind of get out by saying, oh, well, maybe it's just not for me. So it's about kind of really digging deep with that and being honest with yourself about, where is this coming from? Because when we really stop and analyze that, we do know. So let's just kind of assume for a minute then that, we're talking about the kind of doubt that is coming up because we are unsure about ourselves. We're kind of fearing that stuff. If we just normalize that, then we're not adding a layer of feeling crap. Does that make sense? So it's kind of like, okay, it's there, everybody feels it. So it's not this whole, well, what's wrong with me? Kind of lack feeling. Why am I not as good as everybody else? Why can't I just get rid of it and all this stuff? So let's go with that, right? So we're now accepting it. We're accepting it is normal. It is a part of everybody. It's natural every time when you step into something new. So with that, what we want to do then is go, right, okay, so it's there, but we still want to take action. We still want to take action towards the things we want to do. So this now is about creating a mindset that is going to do that. You might have seen something I put up, I think it was on my Instagram earlier in the week, and it was about which voice do you listen to? Do you listen to the voice of doubt, or do you listen to the voice of self-belief? Because we all have them both. And the mindset shifts that I want to share with you now are about saying, right, okay, we accept the doubt is there, but let's really tap into the belief stuff. Let's challenge some of this, because we're not saying that all that doubt voice is right. We're just saying it's normal, right? It doesn't mean it doesn't need challenging, and it doesn't mean it doesn't need challenging in order to be able to overcome it. But it's just about, okay, it's there, let's listen to it, but then let's look at things in a different way. So I'm going to share with you 3 ways that you can just start changing your mindset and kind of really tune into the belief stuff. So the first thing to think about is not everything that your mind tells you is going to be accurate, okay? It can be based on all kinds of stuff from the past, stuff we've heard, stuff we've come to believe about ourselves, told ourselves. So just acknowledging that. If your voice of self-doubt is telling that you can't do something, and is giving you all these different reasons, the first thing to do is just question the evidence, right? Is this even true? So all of those things is coming up with, look for the evidence that is true and the evidence that it's not. Because what that's going to do is going to take you away from just taking that statement that it's giving you on board as fact, and actually look at the reality around it. And then the second thing is remembering, if your mind is telling you that you can't do it, what is actually it's not actually trying to harm you, it's trying to protect you, right? So why is it trying to protect you? We've got to work out what is the fear stuff that we're holding inside that's making our mind say, oh, I need to protect her from this, I need to tell her she can't do it. So it's kind of working backwards, if that makes sense. It's going, okay, right, my mind's telling me this. So what must I be feeling that's creating this thought? So, for example, if you're, say you're about to share about a new offer. I had to think about something then, sorry. Say you're about to share about a new offer, and your mind's like, oh my God, no, you can't put that out there. You're not ready, whatever it's coming up with. What is the fear, right? So is the fear of being judged? Is the fear of it not working, fear of it failing? So you have to get that stuff coming up so that you understand what the feeling is. So, but then you can deal with that feeling. You can deal with the fear. So you can start challenging it and saying, okay, yeah, where is that coming from? And again, what's the reality around that? How can I look at it differently? And bearing in mind within that, our minds like to almost predict the outcome, right? They like to do this kind of psychic thinking. And a lot of the time they go to worst case scenario. So if you're thinking about this thing, putting the offer out, and your mind is like, oh my God, you're going to be judged, all this stuff. Again, it's taking you to worst case thinking. You've probably even predicted in your head in that moment of time when you're having those thoughts, and you've kind of looked ahead and almost pictured people saying things about it or it not working, and it's that kind of forward thinking stuff. But obviously forward thinking can work both ways, right? So if your mind's throwing up all the worst case scenarios, you can switch that and you can say, well, actually, yeah, that's possible, because, well, anything's possible, but what are the positive case scenarios? I can't get my words out today, sorry guys. The best case scenarios. And look at that. So you're getting this kind of more balanced approach, It's not to say that it's always going to work. It might not work. Let's just be realistic. But there is both options. There's 2 paths that it can take, I guess. And it's about just filling your mind with both of those. And then obviously putting more focus on the possibilities, because when we focus on the possibilities of it working, it's much more likely to happen. When we're focusing always on the negative, well, a lot of the time when it doesn't happen is because we're then holding ourselves back because of that focus and not taking the action. But even still, we've taken action. If we're kind of sat there and we're in the energy of, well, this isn't going to work out, then, that's going to create that energy around us and attract that kind of outcome to us. So by focusing on the best case scenarios, focusing on all the positives that can happen, then yeah, you're just in a better mindset with it. Sorry. And then the last one is around, again, it's similar but slightly different. Your mind will throw you obstacles, right? So your mind, when you're trying to do something, will throw up, likely think all the reasons why you can't do it, right? So not just things that are going to happen, but the things about you as a person. And we talked about this in, looking at the evidence and stuff. But this is about actually breaking this down now, so that every time it comes up with, you can't do it because da 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 da, I just want you to ask yourself this question, right? How can I? It's just brilliant. It's so friggin' simple, but it is, honestly, I use it all the time, because like I said, self-doubt is natural. We all have it. I have it, right? So my mind might come up, oh, well, there's no way you can get this all written up in this time, or there's no way you can put that product out there and sell all the spaces you want to sell. And my mind is just reminds me, how can I? And by doing that, what happens is it breaks down the kind of these barriers, these resistance walls, and actually looks at opportunities, right? Because how can I it's an open feeling, yeah? It's creating a space for those thoughts to come in. It's creating that space of actually, what is possible here? So that is another just really powerful thing. So by using those three things combined, actually what you're doing is you're going, okay, these doubt thoughts are here, but actually so is my belief, right? So is my belief around possibilities, around myself, around what I know I'm capable of. And we focus on that and we take action. And then the doubt isn't holding us back. Yes, we've got to go through that process, but we are still taking that really positive action moving forward. Now, just to say, I know I've kind of put that stuff out there and everybody can do that, and it is really, really powerful. But also, I am aware and I do accept, because I've been there myself, that actually when you have really deep-rooted stuff, right? Deep-rooted stuff that's happened to you, that you've experienced, trauma-based stuff, it can really kind of make this hard, because you're trying to look at the evidence otherwise, and you're trying to look at the different possibilities of what can happen. But if you've got that real kind of deep-rooted stuff to work through, there's going to be a massive resistance. So I'm not saying do not use obviously this way of looking at things. Start to put this stuff in place, because the more you do it, the more natural it becomes. But just to say, if you've got that deep-rooted stuff, come and talk to me, because this is the stuff I'm working through with clients. Because at the end of the day, we want to make this stuff easier for ourselves, right? So if you do all that work at your core and you get to a place where you do learn to love, trust, know yourself better, then actually all this stuff that we're talking about, all these mindset shifts, just become a lot easier to do and a lot more natural. So if that's kind of hitting home a little bit and you're thinking, actually, I've got some deeper stuff that I want to work through, then please just reach out to me. There's a link in the comments for my coffee and a chat call. Let's just talk it through. I do get it. I have been there. My stuff was so deep rooted that to try and do any of these mindset shifts, any of these little things, it wasn't impossible. It felt impossible. And that's a part of it, isn't it? Because if we don't believe we can do these things, then that's going to hold us back in itself. So reach out and let's have a conversation about that. So guys, I would love for you to drop me a comment and let me know, firstly, does this stuff can you relate to this stuff? Can you relate to that feeling of constantly trying to get rid of the self-doubt and push it away, and how unhelpful that is? And maybe start to take on board this acceptance thing of just, it's normal, we all do it. And also with this mindset shifts that I've talked about, what can you put in place? What can you just easily today think about, something that you want to achieve today and some actions that maybe you're procrastinating on because of the doubt. What sort of shift can you make to change that and to take action towards the things you want? So yeah, drop me a comment. I'd really love to hear from you guys. And don't forget, subscribe. I don't know where the button is. Here. Subscribe. It really does help me out, and you know, helps to get the message out there. And let's try and get as many people as we can watching this stuff and moving away from self-sabotage, because it really does keep you stuck, and it doesn't need to be there. It doesn't need to rule over you anymore. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for being here. Have a brilliant rest of your week, and I will be back soon. Take care. Bye.